Now let's welcome our second founder, Dmitrii, if I pronounce you correctly. He is the founder and the CEO for the Smart Storify. Like we previously communicate in the email, you are not a pitch for a startup, but it's just mainly talk about your business, right?
Can you hear me well? Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I can talk about Smart 35. It's currently on idea stage, and we can start from the business. There's
Okay.
basically two companies here.
Okay.
Let
So,
me
so it's
yeah,
10.
let me share my screen. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I'm Dmitrii. I'm founder and CIO of ByteSage, which is IT consulting company dedicated for disaster recovery solutions, for business continuity, and for cloud migrations here in New York City, but we operate globally. So we started as a service business, so we run pretty successful. The company currently on ramping up stage. A part of service business, we also explore some opportunities to move more into product-based business, and that would be likely a second company which would be registered in Delaware. One of the ideas which is currently in our pipeline is Smart Storify, and we're going to focus on that, and that would be part of that session. So Smart Storify. Let me introduce your problem. First of all, no one would doubt that storage would be in need across the data centers and the cloud. So because people, population grows and people need to store more data. And over time, all the technology which is evolving, despite of compression algorithms, it would incur the need for the storage. A part of well-known providers, like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, there is a huge untapped amount of storage, which is basically represented by what we call software-defined storage, right? So it's software programs that allow to aggregate storage from multiple appliances, from multiple pieces of data center, including servers, including some other products, right? Not necessarily bound to well-known vendors. There is plenty of products of this in the market. But here there is a big problem that how you're going to manage the storage, right? Because you definitely, if you wanna do performance-based, storage of your data, if you wanna manage your costs, so you need to basically manage your storage, right? Somehow, right? And there is a problem that could not be solved for years. I noticed this in my during my previous experience when I worked in Dell Technologies and Rubrik, that typically people who own the data, we call them application owners, they are very different from storage team, a team that manages the storage. And if organization is large, the gap actually is even larger, right? So basically, yes, you can communicate, like what you need to do with your data, but the larger your organization, the bigger is the gap, right? And unfortunately, even like policies, some compliance, specifics could not, resolve this some sort of challenge, right? Until we got AI, right? So artificial intelligence, what we currently going to focus on, right? So our solution is to introduce AI into this equation, right? So basically, our AI tool, which would be LLM model based, right? This would analyze the stream of data and it will learn based on the data itself, right? So whenever someone wants to store some data, AI tool will be, in place and analyze it and get more inference out of the data itself. So over time, it would be better and better within the same organization, right? Within the same, let's say, domain, right? Where you need to store your data, right? And based on that characteristics, based on that information, it would store data in a proper and in a smart way, right? So this is the idea of what we're gonna do, right? So basically, we can position Smart Storify as AI-based data management for software-defined storage. So target market here is presented. It's more like related to growth on storage in SDS arena on software defined, as we just discussed. So we expect it be like 16-fold increase up to 2032, right? Starting from this current year. So apparently, we're gonna follow the market because our product would be part of SDS, across multiple products, and that would just follow the trend, right? So we expect 16-fold increase. So our target would be cloud service provider, but not the big one, not the Amazon, not Google, not Azure, because those guys, they build similar things in-house. We're gonna target instead smaller cloud service providers, which are typically partners of big providers, right? Or just some startup companies. So that's market number one. And market number two is basically tech-savvy small companies of medium size, like small and medium size, which prefer to manage storage in-house. And they would definitely be interested in deploying SDS products and our tool as a management tool for the data. So our value proposition could be defined as basically self-trained data management, and we would definitely enable to efficiently utilize the storage, reduce the cost, and improve performance in the long term and save the money. So we're gonna use several channels to reach our customers. So first, apparently, would be the first company, which I mentioned in the beginning of the call, ByteSage. Basically, we're gonna sell to our current customers through this channel, just propose this product, and that would be our first, test audience, right? So we also have several partners in the company, like NASCOM, Crying Group, that's gonna use our product to reach their customers and get initial feedback, right? So we would work on further improvements. And yes, apparently we're gonna use some lead generation and in-person interactions and the word of mouth. How we're gonna establish relationships? So we plan to introduce a demo and do like POC and show the value of our product. So after POC is successful, we're gonna convert that into a paid model, and we're gonna provide customer support and professional services on top of that. So our team is currently presented by two people, right? So those have huge experience in infrastructure. It's basically Nick and myself. So I have more than 10 years experience working in EMC Corporation, in Dell, mostly in storage domain, in IT infrastructure and cloud space, as well as Rubrik, which is a pre-IPO company based in Palo Alto, where I held senior DevOps roles and CTO roles. A part of that, so as we need we need to introduce AI experience. We have our advisory board, which would be Jovan Reboledo. So here is multiple times entrepreneur. He's consultant in several companies. All his life is all about AI, artificial intelligence. He's very proficient in building the models and would help us to build our product and make it successful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions? Chris?
I have one. And I know this is kind of implied, but can you talk a little bit about the security of the storage and how you all address that? I'm sure that's not a major issue for you to be able to control, but just for some of us that are not as versed in this area, can you talk a little bit about the security of the storage?
So security of the storage is basically implemented not on our level. So it's more on SDS, which we complement a software-defined storage, because each of the products in the storage space, it has security algorithms. So how you're gonna manage your access to the data, right? Here we go to some file protocols, some block protocols on the storage, and that's it's not on us, right? Because we mostly complement the currently existing SDS product, and we would definitely check the security, but it's not our goal, right? So our goal is to manage our data placement, right, across the tiers. So we just operate on a different layer of storage infrastructure. It basically level behind, right, security, because security, it's definitely upper level where everything is managed by currently existing SDS products.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes. Dmitrii, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you again.
Thanks.
Great. Hey, I love the concept. I was curious on a couple of questions. One, competition. Are there what I would say maybe non from the IT industry? When you were speaking, I was thinking from a broader perspective of companies like Iron Mountain that look after data, but they're looking after storing paper. I don't know whether or not they've gotten into electronic, data storage, anything like that. Are there other companies like that you'd be competing against?
We still exploring, let's say, market for competitors. I would expect, as I already mentioned, that similar thing would definitely appear somewhere in Amazon, Google, and Azure for their customers. Some larger cloud providers can also build a similar tool. But our market is mostly, smaller cloud service providers, which are not fully fledged enough to build this tool, right? So we basically build for smaller CSPs, right? I mean, apparently, we should presume like worst case scenario that someone is already building, tool like that somewhere in the world. So we definitely, keeping an eye on that. And have a close watch, right? So competitors are, it's still under exploration. Let's put it this way, right? But mostly, I can see that some company XYZ is a building tool and highly advertise it on the market, just for smaller CSPs and smaller companies that can use it for their storage silos, like SDS.
One of the thoughts I had for you is it might be an opportunity. You know, I know that when I worked with Iron Mountain, we were asking them whether they had these capabilities. And I think AWS, you know, tries to sell, you know, something like this. And it's interesting. I was just speaking to a small company or mid-sized company in the New York area that focuses on law firms and you know, data. And the problem is they don't have anything like this. So you may be a solution for companies that are in this space that don't have technology kind of based solution. So just an idea. But the other thing is, and I don't know whether you've thought of this, a lot of industries, there's good, better, best. I'm just thinking of the last presentation. You know, there's some files, there's some data that you have to keep a long time, right? You know, a short period of time. I might need files for I mean, maybe it's for patents, or maybe it's for taxes, or maybe it's just for information on personnel, and the rules are different everywhere. And I don't know whether you've thought of that in terms of you know, we'll store your information for 3 months, for 1 year, for 10 years, and then charge separately for that.
We thought about this from a larger perspective, you know, because AI actually, it opens you know, set of opportunities. So basically we analyze the data, so we get inference of data itself, right? So we get understanding what the data means, right? So, and basically we can use that information on different layers to manage it, right? So it's basically understanding the quality of data, understanding the quantity of data, understanding if data contains some privacy, maybe information, right? Which is not addressed by other security layers. Maybe we need to keep it in secret, right? Somewhere, you know, which definitely, you know, could be like a security breach otherwise. But now we get this information because of AI, right? So, and then yes, you can, you know, if you have this data, right? So you can apply, you know, whatever you want going forward, right? We're just starting from tiering, because tiering is like, you know, it's, you know, cost performance thing. It's just easy to understand and easy to, you know, kind of monetize the things, right? But yeah, I mean, going forward, we can break down all data characteristics and just basically beef up our product, you know, with that stuff, right? And would, you know, and we will be like not like 16 times increase, but even more, right? So that's kind of opportunities that ahead of us. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you.